Morning folks, Clegy for XP Metal Detectors in Australia. Today we're just going to have a quick look at the XP Metal Detectors ORX. It's the brand new metal detector to hit the market. What it is essentially a little tiny, powerful, simple, super fast metal detector. So what we've done is taken the complexity out of the dais and made a nice, simple to use 3-tone machine. So let's switch it on and we'll give you a quick rundown of the menu and what you can and can't change and some of the features that are inside. So here we go, we'll turn it on. And on the first section it asks you if you'd like the external speaker on or off. I'm going to turn it on very quickly and just give you the first demo is just, I'll let you hear the 3 tones. It will be a bit chirpy because I'm sitting at a table, so we're not exactly in a 100% stable environment, but this will do for the sake of the demonstration. So it's essentially a 3-tone machine. So the first tone is your low tones or your iron tones. Let's have a quick listen to those. So that's your low tone, and that distinguishes your iron. What you'll also see on the bottom there is the iron probability. We're getting a low TID and a high iron probability scale, so iron gives itself away very easily. Next we've got the mid-tone section, so this is what you'll hear for a mid-tone. We're getting about a mid-tone, a mid-target ID. The mid-tone is the widest of the 3, so what you'll find is anything that isn't iron and isn't a high tone up to about a TID of 75 comes up in the mid-tone range. So mid-tones is where you'll find a lot of your gold rings and that sort of thing. You'll also find a lot of trash. Finally, we've got the high tone. And that's the unmistakable sound of a digging target. So when you hear the high tone, it'll pull you up all the time, and when you see a nice clean TID number like that, then you know for sure that you're digging a hole and it's probably going to be something half decent. So that's the 3 tones. Now let's have a quick look at the remote itself, and I'll turn the speaker off so that we don't have any more noise. So firstly, there's 3 buttons across the top, and you'll see that each one has an arrow pointing up. The one on the left changes anything to do with the system, so it's nothing to do with your actual metal detecting. And when you want to change settings inside the actual remote control. So for example, I'm going to turn the speaker off. So we go to configuration and speaker and simply select no, and instantly the speaker goes off and life's quiet. So that's nice. Inside there you can also adjust your backlight settings, put them on a timer, or just have it constantly on. Change your contrast, how bright or dark you like your screen. Connect to the Go Terrain app when that's released later in 2019. Also run your updates when they're released, and of course choose the language that suits you best. This is a multi-language machine. So they're your system settings. So that's everything you can change to do with the actual remote control itself. It doesn't actually change anything to do with your detecting. That's the middle menu. So the middle menu here then gets you into your metal detecting settings. So the first one is discrimination. So we can adjust that with the plus and minus button up and down to a setting of your whatever you desire, really. Obviously anything below about 7 is an obvious iron target. So if you want to knock your iron out, that's a pretty good base discrimination. You'll still hear some, but not all. You can raise that or lower it depending on your wants and needs. Next one is your sensitivity. It goes right up to 99, but if you're running it at 99, it's just too high. Your machine's going to be pretty much out of control. So I find that 95's around the peak, but 90's probably around optimum. You can up and down that depending on your conditions, where you are. You do have 99 adjustments, but putting it on 1 is not very sensitive at all, and you won't find much. Next is your frequency. And to be honest, this is probably the one you're going to use the most. Your frequency button, simply use the plus or minus to change through your 3 main frequencies. We've got the elliptical coil on at the moment, so we can go right up. This is 74 kilohertz. There is a sub menu in this one, so with the little, we'll see the 2 arrows there. If we push that button, it should give us our little changes of frequency here, and we can see that frequency going up in the sub frequency. So now we're up to 81 kilohertz. There's 7 of those, so the top frequency runs between 68 and 81 kilohertz, which gives you quite a big band in the high frequency. And of course, with the plus minus, we can just change through our base frequencies and then use this button here to make your minor adjustments. So anything from 26 through that frequency and so on and so forth. Next is your iron volume. If you don't want to hear the iron, turn your iron volume off. Pretty simple. Kind of acts like a base discrimination. Can help you pick targets out of the iron. So you've got the choice there, iron volume on or off. Reactivity is essentially your detector's speed. So with the ORX, you have the following gears: first, second, 2.5, and third. So 3 being flat out. And it's pretty quick. So most of the time you're going to use something like 2.5 or 3, and you'll find it's a little bit lower in the deeper programs. But generally speaking, faster for trashy areas, slower for depth in non-trashy areas. And back to your base discrimination. So as you can see, all the basics, everything you need, but no complicated stuff to change. Sensitivity, speed, frequency. You don't really need anything else. Bit of base discrimination and away you go. Next is your hashtag button. Now that's kind of your multi-purpose button. This one helps you change between the programs. So we're in Coin Fast at the moment. By depressing that quickly, we then go on to Coin Deep, and that changes the settings of the detector. So there's 4 factory settings for gold, fine gold, Coin Fast, and Coin Deep. Pretty self-explanatory, eh? So we'll go back to Coin Fast because that's what I've been using for the demonstration. Now, ground balance. Ground balance is this button here. It's also your pinpoint button when you're in coin mode. So when you're in programs 3 or 4, this also is a pinpoint button. If you push it very, very quickly, what it'll do is you notice that the ground balance number there changed. It actually just ground balanced on my table. So that's how quick you ground balance the machine. You turn it on, choose your program, quick push of the button to ground balance it, and away you go detecting. Nice and easy, and then you can fine tune those couple of settings in there if you want. Once you've found a target, if you want to pinpoint it, you just hold this button on for a couple of seconds and it'll go into pinpoint mode, and then you'll notice that it becomes a non-motion detector, and as we go in, it'll indicate when we're getting closer and further away from the target. There's also audio, but I have got that turned off for the sake of sanity. To come out of the pinpoint mode, simply back out of it. We're back in detecting mode, and off you go. Essentially, that's the ORX in a nutshell. Very, very, very simple to use, yet very powerful and very, very fast. So whole up weighs about 765 grams in total weight with the remote connected to the stem. Just a nice, lightweight, super fast metal detector that will get you out in any park in Australia and give you a good crack out in the Australian goldfields as well. Thanks very much, guys. I hope that's given you a brief understanding of the ORX remote control and what's inside. It really is a great little metal detector from XP Metal Detectors in France, and 100% wireless, all rechargeable, ready to go out of the box. Just get it out, turn it on and start detecting. Thanks very much, guys. Have a great day. Enjoy your detecting. Happy hunting. I'm Clegy for XP Metal Detectors in Australia.